First tonight, we're working developing news. The resignation of White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer. Spicer, a Barrington native, stood behind the podium for the first 6 months of the Trump administration. His resignation comes as the White House communications team announces some new faces. We have team coverage of this developing news. Mark Meredith is with the Eyewitness News Washington Bureau and has more on today's press briefing. First, though, let's get to Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado for the latest developments. Steph?
Well, Sean Spicer is the second Rhode Islander to leave a high-profile position in the Trump administration. The first, of course, being Mike Flynn. And tonight, we're learning more about why Spicer resigned as press secretary and what the new communications director is saying about him.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders is going to be the press secretary.
President Trump's new communications director, Anthony Scaramucci, immediately announcing Sean Spicer's replacement. Sarah Huckabee Sanders will be press secretary after Spicer resigned today, reportedly out of protest because of Scaramucci's hiring. Spicer told the AP he's leaving because he wants to give Scaramucci a clean slate. Also tweeting, "It's been an honor and a privilege to serve President Donald Trump in this amazing country. I will continue my service through August."
There isn't a boring minute.
Spicer is a Barrington native and sat down with Eyewitness News reporter Kim Kalunian shortly after he was named press secretary by President Trump. Then again at the White House with Eyewitness News anchor Patrick Little.
Good afternoon.
His press briefings were often must-see TV, but in recent weeks his deputy, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, had been giving the daily briefings. She will now replace him at the podium permanently.
He understood that the president wanted to bring in and add new people to the team, and Sean felt like it would be best for that team to be able to start with a totally clean slate.
The new communications director with some praise for Spicer at his first briefing.
He's done an amazing job. This is obviously a difficult situation to be in, and I applaud his efforts here, and I love the guy, and I wish him well, and I hope he goes on to make a tremendous amount of money.
No word yet on what Sean Spicer will do next. We have reached out to him for comment. Now, coming up new at 6, we'll hear from Rhode Island's senior senator and also the Rhode Island GOP chairman about Spicer's resignation. I'm Steph Machado, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Steph. Our in-depth coverage of the resignation of Sean Spicer continues. Now, White House officials holding the first on-camera press briefing in more than 3 months this afternoon following the announcement of Spicer's resignation. The new press secretary reading a statement from President Trump. Mark Meredith was there for today's press briefing. He joins us live now from the Eyewitness News Washington Bureau. Yeah, Mark, you were at the White House today. Fair to say it was a little chaotic, confusing over there, or everything smooth?
It certainly was chaotic. It was confusing, and that was only for us what we could see in the press area. You can imagine what it was like in the West Wing. There has been a lot of talk, guys, as we've talked about before, whether or not Sean Spicer was going to be able to stay in that job as White House press secretary. But every time that rumor was heating up, he would somehow be able to defy it. And then it was what we were expecting, or I should say not expecting today, as the president is staying in town this weekend. This announcement from the White House that Sean Spicer was resigning, and as in that previous report, with the new communications director in place, it's likely we're going to see some changes, but this is a big one for Trump team. Guys?
All right, Mark, well, you've had the chance to not only interview Sean Spicer, but you got to know him a little bit behind the scenes. Will we see anything different with this new press secretary?
It's going to be certainly a different feel in the press room because you can imagine Sean Spicer was there from the beginning. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is no stranger to the Trump administration, to the press corps. We have seen her at several events as well as behind the podium as well. But this certainly does feel like it'll be a different chapter in the first year of the Trump administration. The press team is a very large component of the West Wing staff. They have several other deputies. All signs point to those people staying in their positions. But you guys can imagine for right now, this has been a very busy and big day for the White House.
Of course. Thank you so much, Mark. And stay with Eyewitness News for continuing coverage of Sean Spicer's resignation. We'll bring you the very latest developments on air and online at WPRI.com.
First at 6, developing news. Sean Spicer leaving his post as the White House press secretary. The Barrington native's resignation was breaking on Eyewitness News at noon. Spicer is now the second Rhode Islander to leave the Trump administration. He spent just 6 months behind the podium. His departure comes as President Trump announces a new communications team. Eyewitness News reporter Steph Machado is gathering local reaction. She joins us now live in studio with the developing news. Steph?
There have been many different reactions to Sean Spicer's resignation, but the common thread is that Spicer had a very difficult job.
This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period.
It's been exactly 6 months since Sean Spicer's first White House press briefing, disputing that viral photo comparing President Trump's inauguration crowd size to President Obama's. Now Spicer has resigned as press secretary, reportedly over the hiring of Anthony Scaramucci, the new White House communications director.
Sean is a true American patriot. He's a military serviceman. He's got a great family.
Spicer is a Barrington native who sat down with Eyewitness News both in December and in February at the White House. His press briefings became must-see TV because of how he sparred with the press, sparking a popular recurring segment on Saturday Night Live that earned Melissa McCarthy an Emmy nomination.
Sean Spicer was given virtually an impossible task. From the very beginning, he was trying to explain President Trump's claims that weren't even accurate.
Democratic Senator Jack Reed weighing in on today's shakeup and the hiring of Scaramucci, a businessman.
I don't know how long he'll last. There's the questions of, again, disarray in the White House.
Rhode Island's GOP chairman Brandon Bell praising Spicer, telling Eyewitness News, Sean had the toughest position in D.C., and I believe he did an outstanding job. People can criticize and second guess, but how can anyone have done a better job under the challenging circumstances?
And Sean Spicer tweeted that it's been an honor and privilege to serve the president, and he'll be staying on through August. Sarah Huckabee Sanders will replace him as press secretary. We've also reached out to Spicer, but have not yet heard back. I'm Steph Machado, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Steph. Stay with Eyewitness News for continuing coverage of Sean Spicer's resignation. We'll bring you the very latest developments on air and online at WPRI.com.